Hi everyone. Hope you can see us through the titles here. We're just gonna wait a few more minutes and see if a few more people arrive. Maybe when we get about 10 people or so, then we'll start with the actual proceedings. But thank you for being here. Somebody's watching YouTube. Yeah. So as soon as we have enough people, we'll get going. And feel free to speak in the chat. Nerusha is in the chat and we'll interact. We are here to answer any and all questions about this year at 48 Hour Film Project Durban. So yeah, welcome. And I'm gonna mute. We're gonna mute ourselves again. But oh look, we got 9 viewers. Let's give it another 2 minutes and then we'll start. Cool. Thanks everyone. No. Hey there. Ta-da.
Hello.
Hi. Thanks for coming. Yeah.
Hi guys. Okay, we were compliant.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi everybody. Welcome to the Durban 48 Hour Film Project Workshop 2021.
We're going to teach you how to survive this year. Again, if you've been here before, we're going to teach you to re-survive, and if you are new here, we'll teach you how to survive for the first time. Yeah. Sure. So we've got 10 viewers. So shall we get started?
Let's get started.
Okay. Cool. I'm going to make everybody tiny. There we go. And chapter 1. What is a 48 Hour Film Project? Cool. I'm going to move to the side, and you can take center stage. And there we go.
Thank you. So welcome everybody. Thank you so much for joining us on this Sunday afternoon. As you know, or you should know, or if you don't know, it's okay. I am Nerusha Maharaj Sadapal. I am your city producer for Durban 48 Hour Film Project. And this is my partner in crime, Kishan Baijnath. So he will be our host today, taking us through the presentation. But for now, you're stuck with me. We also have Mo Motala, who's our projectionist, editing specialist. We have Imal Sadapal. We have Siyabonga Mshlongu, and unfortunately, they can't be here due to COVID, but they are online to assist with any questions that you may have. So please feel free to type out, shout out if you can, and just let us know.
Yes, yeah, I obviously, as you may be able to see there, that I forgot to add your name in, and that's my bad.
Apologies.
Don't apologize. I forgot to type your name. Cool. Next slide.
Yeah.
Cool.
Let's move. As you know, we are powered by the KZN Film Commission. So a big shout out to the Kwa-Zulu Natal Film Commission. Without you, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be making history. 65 teams participating last year.
Oh, wow.
To make a short film in 1 weekend. So it was awesome. And guys, let's beat this year. And with the power of the Film Commission, I'm sure we can do that. As you guys know, a lot of teams were sponsored. A lot of your teams were sponsored this year, and they were sponsored thanks to the KZN Film Commission, who are sponsoring registration fees for those wanting to participate but cannot, go through with the registration fees. So thank you. Our other sponsors are, thank you again, Creative Arts College South Africa, for being on board with us for the second year this year, as well as Huawei South Africa. We really appreciate having you guys on board. And as you know, Huawei is our sponsor for the best mobile production, and they are giving away a P40. Creative Arts College is sponsoring a full filmmaking bursary for the best newcomer. And I'd like to thank our other partners, Media Film Services, who will be offering a 50% discount on equipment, any rental equipment, over the 48-hour filming weekend, which is next weekend. So thank you for that. Film and Publication Board, thank you for assisting us with such a speedy rollout. 2 weeks later, we get to see our movies up there on big screen. So thank you for that. Durban Film Office, thank you for coming on board, assisting us with our trophies, with blanket permits, and for being there for 48. So, all of you, or some of you who are new to 48, what is the 48-Hour Film Project? So, the 48-Hour Film Project is an internationally renowned film festival and filmmaking challenge. It's been running for 21 years in, I think it's about 120 cities around the world, and it's 12 years in Durban. So I'm very excited. I've been a part of the project for the past 4 years, and I'm so excited and grateful that it's grown so much. The very first year I was on board under the flagged headship of Natalie Delport. Hey, Natalie, thank you. We had only 8 teams participating. The second year saw 19 films, and last year being the third year and my solo year as a producer, we had 65 teams participating. So yeah, and this year we're hoping for more. So let's beat that record, guys. Come, we can do it. So yeah, 12 years in Durban and 21 years around the globe. And just to put it out there while we're on this topic, the Filmapalooza is the international arena whereby each city winner goes. Sorry, Kish, if you're just wondering why I'm going through this. But I'm just so excited to let everybody know about the Filmapalooza, the international arena where the winners of each city, their film would be screened, and there the top 10, the top 10 films get identified, and those films get screened at Cannes or Cannes Film Festival. And I'm very excited to say that I'm in talks with the international body to host that here on African soil. It's never been done before in SA or in Africa. So yeah, I had to just put that out there. So anyway, so guys, get ready to write, direct, shoot, edit, and deliver your short film in one weekend. Very doable. People have been doing it for the past 21 years. So Friday night at 6 p.m. to Sunday night, 7:30 p.m., you're making your movie and uploading it. And films are anything from 4 to 7 minutes long, plus 1 minute of credits. It's obviously there to test your creativity, skills, teamwork, and endurance. Just like last year, the event, the kickoff and drop-off is virtual, and well, obviously the workshop. So get your teams together. Anybody can participate, anybody can enter, all ages are welcome. I think internationally, the youngest entrant was like 12 years old, so nothing stops anybody out there from participating. Your team can comprise of however many members you wish appropriate or you feel you can handle.
I think the biggest team was like 120 people.
Yeah, in Mexico.
Yeah.
In Mexico, yeah, 120 people. So guys, let's maybe beat them. I don't know, but just make sure follow COVID protocols, please.
How many forms are they gonna have to sign for the team?
In one weekend, wow.
They won't get to do their film. Everybody's just gonna be
Artist
signing
release.
forms.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, it can be anything from one person, if you can manage everything, to 120 people or more. So all skill levels are welcome. Crew and cast must be volunteers. So nobody can be paid for their services. The only thing that is paid for is your registration fee. Thereafter, you're only allowed to hire equipment. Other than that, you cannot pay any crew member, any cost. So everybody's on equal footing. So we're all on the same page. All right, cool. So teams, obviously, you can be professionals, newcomers, and mobile production filmmakers. And we're really trying to encourage this year, mobile productions. Let's get content out there. I've been saying this, be it on your smartphone, mobile device, as long as you're making your content. Let's get it out there. So these are our classifications. And obviously, each of these would be judged in a separate category. As you know, obviously, most of you have sure you did, I hope you did, filled out your registration form already, you would have said if you're a newcomer and if you're going to be using a mobile device to be doing your filming, or if you're a professional and how many years you're in the industry. So this is how we would classify you, and this is how we would be judging accordingly. So as you know, kickoff is this Friday, this coming Friday, the 26th of November. We would meet online just like we are here. Maybe we would have we will have a bigger team, a bigger entourage. So we'd see you at 6 p.m. and Kishan's going to take you through the process of kickoff, right through drop off, all the paperwork and love letters involved. So do enjoy, guys, and I'll be answering your comments in the chat box. So please just shout. Thank you.
Hi, guys. Thanks, Nerusha. Well, let me just refresh the chat to see if anybody has said anything. Ooh, we've got 16 people viewing. That's nice. Yeah. Still nothing in the chat? No, nobody. Okay, good. That's good. No questions yet. All right. So at the kickoff night, which will be this coming Friday, all the teams who are registered we will have an Excel sheet. Everybody's going to be listed alphabetically. So we're going to go through the list alphabetically, and one by one, we are going to draw genres out of the hat for each team. So each team gets 2 genres that they can choose from. We'll go more into detail on that in the coming slides. But you get your genre, and then right at the end, every team gets the same 3 elements that have to be in your film. That's a prop, a line of dialogue, and the name of a character. So these things that we give you have to be in the film. And that's kind of our way of ensuring that you don't cheat and you make your film before the competition starts, because the entire idea obviously is to make the film that weekend in 48 hours. So we give you things that have to be important to your movie in some way, as like a safety to ensure that you have actually done the thing in the competition regulations. If your film does not have the genre that we have given you, or the prop, line of dialogue, or the character that we have given you, unfortunately, your film will be disqualified from competing for the awards. So please, for your own sake, make sure that you're Nerusha's watching me on the phone. So please make sure you adhere to these requirements. Also, it just makes it more fun. We've got a question here. How do we get location permits for public places like the beach? The Durban Film Office is going to be providing us with blanket permits for for public spaces in the Durban area. We do have a slide on that later on. I'm not sure if it is in this chapter, but it is coming up. We briefly go over it, but yes, all teams will be provided with a blanket permit for public spaces in the Durban area. You want to yeah. Okay, boss is coming back.
All right, cool. So Durban Film Office is giving us a blanket permit for any public area in Durban. Remember, it's just Durban Film Office. So we would have a blanket permit, and this is for any public spaces, but if there's a fee attached to it, so that would be a nature reserve, certain beaches, there are fees to shoot at, and that would be the team's responsibility to pay for. So yeah, I hope that answers your question.
Thank you. Look at me, I'm the captain now, again. Cool, let's go to the next slide. Okay, so you get your genres. Each team gets 2 genres, and they're drawn at random. Last year we drew them out of a hat. This year we're going to try and think of something a little bit more visually appealing, or maybe a little bit more fun, but we're working on that. Either way, each team gets 2 genres. And you can choose one genre of those 2, or you can do both, but you don't get extra points if you do both. But, you know, if you want, you can. And you have to stick to those genres. If you waver from them, then unfortunately, you will not be eligible for awards because you're not adhering to the rules of the competition. Cool. So here's a list of all our genres. They range from action and adventure, dark comedy, fantasy, food films, westerns, martial arts films, silent films, soap opera, all kinds of things. I think there's 30 genres there, or 20, 29, something like that. Lots to choose from, lots to do. And I think there's something in there for everyone. And hey, if you get genres that you aren't a fan of, that's just more of a challenge to see how you can make it work. And sometimes we see that the guys who they're like, oh no, I didn't want to get a comedy. I wanted to do a horror or whatever, and then they get forced into this box, and then they come back with some great stuff. So when you get your genres, don't be discouraged if you don't like them, because something beautiful can come out of any one of these, any one of them. So then we get to our three required elements. These are the last thing that we give you at the kickoff, and that's once you have them, that's officially when the time starts. So the three required elements are a required character, a required prop, and a required line. Okay, so the character does not have to be the main character in the film, does not have to be the star, but you have to be able to see the character on screen, and it must be clear to the audience who the character is. Even if it's unspoken, it needs to be obvious that, oh, this character is a police officer or whatever, if that's the character that we've given you. The required prop, it must be seen on screen, and also it must be used in the film in some way. So yeah, this is very important, and this is one of the ways to ensure that you are making the film in the time constraints that we've given you. As with the required line, which you have to, it must be said on screen, or it can be written, even in a foreign language. But regardless of how you deliver it in the film, it must be clearly understood. If it's in a foreign language or a language that's not English, it should have a translation or be clear via subtitles. But yeah, another thing to remember is that adhering to these regulations is vitally important to being eligible for the awards for this competition. But secondly, if you do really good at these, you can win awards for this. So we've got awards for best use of character, best use of prop, and best use of required line. So be creative and work with what we've given you. And one of the things that I love about this is actually seeing because every film gets the same required elements. And it's so interesting to see, out of all the teams, last year we had 65 teams, and so many of them used all three required elements in different ways. And what's even funnier is all the ones that use them in the same ways, which I think was really curious. But it's just another beautiful quirk that this festival brings out, and you get to see how all of these people and all of these teams who aren't working together and competing against each other have so much in common because of the way that their minds work. And I think it's really interesting. Cool. So when the clock finally starts, after you've got your required elements, your 48 hours begins. And yeah, so you've got those 48 hours, and then Sunday night at 7:30 p.m., that's when the clock stops. So that's 48 hours plus 30 minutes of grace for technical difficulties and things like that. But we highly advise that you get your stuff in before 7. Also, because we're still in a pandemic, we please ask that filmmakers adhere to COVID safety protocols throughout the entire production for the well-being of everyone involved, please. Thank you. We got a question here. Will the props be easily accessible given the time constraints? Yes, absolutely. The props are always very straightforward, easily accessible items. Last year, the prop was a COVID mask. So, ideally everyone should have a COVID mask at this stage. Other times it's been like a loaf of bread or like a pencil or a seashell. So lipstick, yeah. So they're fairly straightforward to acquire items. So yeah, it's not going to be something too complicated, because we want something that also doesn't force you into a certain genre or a style of filmmaking. It's just generally an everyday item that you can use in some creative way. And again, remember, the more creative you are with it, or the best use of the prop, you get an award for that. You get an award for that. Cool. Next. Okay, so throughout the entire production, throughout the entire festival, we will have our team on standby to answer any questions and help you. Um, Prior to the kickoff event, team leaders will be added to a WhatsApp group, and so you'll be asked to clarify if you are a newcomer, a mobile filmmaker, a mobile phone filmmaker, or what is it? Sorry, the yeah, or a professional. Gosh, how did I forget professional? Somebody's being unprofessional here. Yeah, so those are the three categories, and because of those three categories, it kind of just helps the judges understand who they're working with, and also that way we can be advised on what each of these teams is eligible for. While we say that, if you say you're a newcomer because you've never done 48 hour before and your film is like really good, then we'll bump you up to the professional category. So that'd be cool. Um, but yeah, so once we see your final product, we'll also take that under advisement whether or not it fits in line with what you stated your team's category will be. Also, some people say that they're going to be in the professional category, and then something goes wrong and they end up doing a mobile film. So things change on the day, and you make a plan. And so obviously, what you state at the beginning of production to the end of the event might change, and we'll take that under advisement. Yeah, and if necessary, for drop-off, which is all digital, if you have trouble and you are in Durban, you can interact with our team, and we can try and make a plan to pick up a USB from you, or you can bring a USB to us, and we'll collect it from you, depending on, or you can drop it off with us, or we can collect it from you. Last year, some people dropped it off at my house, but I don't recommend that because it was very late, and I didn't expect them. I don't know if you guys are watching, but that was, yeah, you kind of freaked my parents out. Anyway, yeah, next. Tech specs. Okay, so this is just very technical. I wonder why. You can take a screenshot of this. It's also on the website, and we'll specify constantly. I think this tech specs show up in every single chapter of this workshop, because we just want to make sure that you get it right. But just to briefly go over it, your video codec should be an H.264 or something similar. We recommend you export it as an MP4 or an MOV. The resolution should be full HD. That's 1920 by 1080p. And the aspect ratio should be 16:9. Even if you've got stylistic aspect ratios, export it as 16:9 with the crop lines. It just makes it easier when we put it in the cinema. I know some of you want to shoot it in 4K or 8K or whatever, but please, we're not going to project it at anything higher than 1080. So please just give it to us in 1080 at 25 frames a second. If you do not adhere to those regulations, if you go above that or below that, you're going to have to deal with the consequences. You shoot it in 4K and you give it to us in 4K, and we either can't play it or we have to compress it. That's unfortunately, that's something that you brought on yourself, unfortunately. And the same if the quality is too low. If you give us something that's in standard definition 480p, we're going to have to scale it up to 1080 on the big screen, and it's not going to look nice. So unfortunately, a couple of people did end up that happened to some people last year, and it was a shame. But fortunately, they didn't look that bad. And Mo made a plan, because Mo he's a G, and he knows his business very well. But please make it easy for Mo. Just give it to us in 1080. Also, please, the file size has to be below 2 gigabytes. Your film is 4 to 7 minutes long. Come on, guys, plus 1 minute of credit. So that file should be 8 minutes long. It does not need to be bigger than 2 gigs. I know, again, you want to do your 4K, you want to do your 8K, you want to shoot with your red epics and all of that stuff, but it's not necessary. Please, be realistic. We have to crunch all of that data on our side too. Also, you're digitally uploading, so how long is that going to take? Do you really want to risk uploading a 4K version of your film and then it doesn't get through in time, or it doesn't export in time or something? Yeah, just be reasonable, guys. Thank you. So yeah, then we get to the drop-off night, which is Sunday the 28th. The official cutoff time is 7:30 p.m. Submissions will be online. And you can anything handed in before 7:30 is eligible, so long it also meets the other criteria, like the required elements and the genres and stuff. But yeah, anything before 7:30, we'll take it in. You're uploading to Cinema 48, which is the 48-hour film project's official page for uploading online. We want to advise you to please be prepared for technical difficulties. The site is pretty well made, but last year we hit quite there was a lot of traffic in those last few minutes, and I know that there was a mad scramble for some people. Some people weren't getting through on time. Some people didn't have data or Wi-Fi. So please take these things into account, because you're going to be uploading a maximum 2 gig file. Really before the cutoff time. Just be smart about it. Try to get ready in advance. Also, if you have an earlier cut of your film or something like that, you can upload that first, and then you can upload a new cut of the film later if you want, so that you can ensure that something will be presented. Obviously, any cut that you hand in before 7:30 on Sunday is eligible. And once again, 48-hour staff can be contacted if necessary to arrange a physical drop-off of the film on USB. This is only for Durban. I know that, because there's people from all over KZN that are participating. So, if you're outside of Durban, unfortunately, we can't do anything about it. But if you are in Durban, you can drop us a WhatsApp, give us an email, give us a call, and we will try and make a plan for you. We want everybody to be happy. We want everybody to get through. It's a real shame if people don't make it in the time. And some of those films that didn't make the cut last year, they were really great, and it was a real shame. So please, guys, just try to adhere to the cutoff. I mean, it is the 48-hour film project, not the 49-hour project, or the 2-day and 7 hours project. It's please adhere to 48 hours. With this also, by midnight on Sunday, you've got to hand in all your paperwork. That's your music release forms, your release forms, location release forms. We'll go through all of that in detail, but all of that paperwork needs to be in for the legality of us being able to screen your film in the cinema for the competition. If you don't get your paperwork in on time, you will also not be eligible for the competition. So that's unfortunate. Please don't be floundered at right at the finish line because you didn't get your one piece of paperwork. The documents are admin, but they're very easy. So don't worry about it. They're very straightforward. But the thing is, you got to do it. Unfortunately, who likes to do paperwork? Not me. Nobody likes to do paperwork, but we highly recommend you do it. It makes our jobs easier, and it's part of the process. Unfortunately, if you do a real film production, there's all kinds of paperwork, and Nerusha can vouch for that. So trust me, the amount that we ask for from you guys is not that much. Cool, yeah. So the permits and paperwork, by midnight. So the first thing that you need to know is there's a team leaders agreement. That's the only thing that you have to hand in before kickoff. Before you get your genres and your required elements, you've got to have a team leaders agreement. That's kind of you just acknowledging that you're part of the competition and you're good to go. Everything else on the list below can be handed in before midnight on Sunday. So that's your wrap-up form, your team roster, your certification statement, your waiver and release form, music release form, materials release form, location release form, and the Film and Publications Board self-classification. That's your age restriction stuff, but we'll get into that. They're all pretty simple and straightforward, so don't freak out about them. Even if you see, oh my gosh, there's 7 forms, they're not hard, I promise you. Most of them are 2 pages, and it's there's just sign here, put your name, put the address, and it's done. But you got to do it. You have to do it. If you don't do it, you can't win. It's that simple. Okay, age restrictions and the Film and Publications Board. Okay, so you've got to submit your own age restriction classification, basically. The Film and Publications Board has been really nice with us, where they give us a form to fill in, and you can check all the things that are in your form, from violence and bad language or drug use or anything like that. And so that's the way that they allow us to do it ourselves. That's how we can ensure that the films are screened so quickly after being made. So 2 weeks later, when you're at Gateway and we're watching the films, it has to have an age restriction for it to be put in a public cinema, and so therefore you need to fill out this form. It looks complicated, but trust me, it's just a very simple Excel sheet. I will walk you through it later on in this workshop. So yeah, when you're uploading to Cinema 48, again, as long as your upload begins before the deadline, your film is considered submitted. It doesn't matter if your Wi-Fi or your data is so slow that the film only finishes uploading, the next morning or whatever. We had a couple films like that. The film started uploading at before 7:30 on Sunday night, and the computer remembers it, and the website, it gives you like it's called a checksum, and it knows exactly what time you submitted, so you're good. One of my friends, he submitted his film, I think it was like 7:28 p.m. and I think the file only went through completely at like I think 1 p.m. the next day, but he was still eligible because he made it in before he started uploading before the deadline. So we're very understanding with things like that. Just make sure it's before the deadline. Unfortunately, if it's 7:31 p.m., can do nothing for you, man. Unfortunately, I just heard you're mentioning Durban and KZN. Is the competition open to anyone within the borders of South Africa? Yes, yes. Anyone around the world, actually. You can be anywhere in the world and you can enter. But yeah, if you register for the Durban one, regardless of where you are in the world, you can be part of this. Yeah, you just gotta be there for the virtual kickoff and drop off, and yeah, you just gotta be present online. That's it. Unfortunately, obviously, if you're in like Canada, we and you're not being able to upload, we're not gonna go to Canada and pick up a USB. Sorry, guys. That's just we love you guys, but I won't do that. Yeah. So yeah, again, please ensure that you have a stable internet connection or data or anything like that. Be aware of this because again, you don't want to stumble right at the finish line because you're like, oh, I don't have enough data to upload my film that I worked tirelessly for 2 days on with my team of people. It's a tragedy, and we don't want tragedy unless it's the genre of your film, please. All right, next. Rules and regulations on stock footage, music, and runtimes, all of that stuff. So only footage shot for the festival can be used in the film, unless it's on a background screen or used as a VFX template or something like that. It's a bit of a gray area, but you can get away with that. But you should shoot all the footage that is in your film during the 48 hours of the festival. Music, we highly recommend royalty-free music, and when you get your documents with your music release form, you must show the origin of your film, whether you got it from YouTube Music Library or some freesound.org or somewhere else. That also goes for sound effects, by the way. You've got to make sure that you declare where everything is legally, because if that goes to the cinema and screens publicly and you have not paid for it, it's a big problem. I don't know if this team is here, but last year we got a film that used the Avengers music, and that was a big problem, unfortunately. And it was a pretty good film otherwise, and it's just really unfortunate if you get disqualified and can't screen because you've got copyrighted music. So please, guys, be smart. Make sure that your music is royalty free. Like we also recommend, maybe if you got friends that are musicians or something, talk to them, get permission from them, make them sign the form, and they can make some music for your film. Some people did that. I know Ocean's 11, that team, Neil's team, they made a song they made like a song for the movie it was so, yeah, original music. It was so impressive. They even used the required line in the track. That was, yeah, it's like, let's get this over with. I was like, wow, man, good golly, he just went above and beyond there. So yeah, good job. Shout out to Neil and Ocean's 11 there for Noxious Shenanigans. Wow, I still remember the title of that one. It was a good one. Again, all the crew have to be volunteers. No crew can be paid for their work. So if you are friends with Leonardo DiCaprio, ask him to come for free. But otherwise you can't pay people. You can have any skill level of crew members, actors, anything, but they've got to do it for free. And again, run times must be between 4 and 7 minutes, not a minute less, not a minute more. And you will be allowed 1 minute of credits in addition to that. So your file should not be longer than 8 minutes at all. Not a second, not a frame over, please. Please. And it must have the official 48-hour logos at the beginning and the end of the film. We cannot stress this enough. It is very important to the regulation that it has this. And you've also, please, 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 state your team name, state all the things that we require as we go through this, because it's really awkward when you submitted a film to us and then it doesn't have a title and it doesn't have it doesn't have the team leader's name, it doesn't have the team's name. We don't know anything about it. How are we going to judge it if it's just a video clip that has no text or anything? It's very inconvenient for us, and unfortunately we can't do anything about that. We can't go, hey, whose film is this, because it's all online. So please put your logos, put your titles, put your team names on your film at the beginning and end, so we know who you are. It may seem like a very obvious thing, but trust me, some people had trouble with it last year, and we don't want to have to go through that process, and we don't want to disqualify people, because a lot of those films were really good again, and it's a tragedy when a film is disqualified on such a silly technicality. Okay, next. So screening, virtual and online. So all films will be screened online for those who are unable to attend the cinema screenings. So yeah, but we do, we would really love to see you at the cinema. It was a great time last year. We screened for 2 days at Gateway. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It was also great to see everybody's faces. And then we do the awards on the Sunday night. So the cinema premiere is on the 11th and 12th of December at Gateway Kickoff. And they will be screened at the cinema, whether they are found ineligible for awards consideration or not. And that basically means that as long as your film is complete and we know who you are and you don't have any copyrighted anything in it, you followed everything else. If you were late or didn't follow a required element or whatever, you will still be screened. That's part of that's part of the thing that we encourage for the festival, is that even if you aren't eligible for the awards, you will still screen in the cinema. So yeah, so don't be discouraged. Just give it your best shot, and then you can see yourself on the big screen. Wouldn't that be great? So yeah, again, screenings will adhere to strict COVID safety protocols. Last year, everyone came, masks on. Some of you guys had face shields. It was just really good to see everybody, being safe, being responsible. We are still in a pandemic, unfortunately. Another question. Must the credits include all the sponsors, partners, e.g. Huawei? The sponsors, if your team has been exclusively sponsored by somebody, then we highly recommend that you put them in the credits. But in terms of our sponsors like Huawei and the KZN Film Commission and the Durban Film Office, etc., those are our sponsors, so you don't have to put them in your film. But if you are sponsored by somebody like e.g. Your local spa sponsored you food or energy drinks or something like that, we highly recommend that you put your sponsors in the credits. But the sponsors that we gave a shout out to at the beginning of this video and some of the ones behind here, those don't count as sponsors for you guys. So yeah, I hope that answers that question. Cool. Judging and awards. So the awards will be on Sunday night on the 12th of December. So after the 2 days of screenings, that Sunday night on the second day, we will have our judges we will be giving out the awards based on the judges voting. So awards will be held on the following day to the screening. The judges are comprised of industry professionals, and we've got a lot of cool people that we've worked with. Nerusha and I have both worked in the industry for quite a few years. So yeah, there's some really, really good people, some really great minds in the local film industry that are going to be seeing your film. So please make it a good one. Put your best foot forward. Don't know who could be seeing your film. Well, we know who will be seeing your film, but who could it be? Who? Maybe you've seen some of their films before. Maybe you're a fan. Ooh, what if the person you're a fan of becomes a fan of you? Oh yes. Ooh. I don't know if you guys heard that, but we got influencers, radio stations, celebrities. Yeah, just come on, guys. Like, do your best. You gotta that's impress everybody here. Um, got some. Got a question here. Do we need to buy tickets for the cinema premiere? Yes, you do have to buy tickets to the cinema premiere because that's mainly just to cover the actual the fees of us booking out the cinema venue to see your film. Because yeah, that's what it is. It's not too expensive, and also so the way that it works is you don't just go to see your film on its own. We put them in like I think they're like 90-minute blocks. So however many of the films we can fit into each 90-minute segment, that so you're paying for a 90-minute slot to watch a number of films. So if each film is like roughly 7-8 minutes, you'll probably be seeing about 10 films. Yeah. And we generally group them according to the age restrictions also. So, if your film is like 16 for whatever reason, you will be grouped with other films of that age restriction. So just be advised about that. Yeah, so all eligible films will be awarded based on various criteria, which we're going to talk about later on. And films that are disqualified for whatever reason will still be eligible for the Audience Voted Award, but not for the other main prizes. The Audience Votes Award is really interesting because when I participated in 2016, I think it was. We had a great time. We did a horror. I was covered in blood, head to toe in fake blood. Whew. Like our film actually got disqualified from everything because I think we got our required character's name wrong. I think it was supposed to be Jeremy Bradshaw, and then we said Jamie Bradshaw, which was what a blow. But we still got the audience award because our film was still very liked. So don't lose hope in that category. But yeah, that's one of the ones that I find most interesting because it's really great to see what the audience responds to. Last year it was also it was funny, but also like really like heartwarming and endearing that the film that won best film was also the film that won the audience award. It actually kind of just swept up almost everything. It was crazy. We'll show you guys that film at the end of this entire workshop. What? Yeah. Will there be pre-sale for tickets? No, they won't. It's at the door. Yeah. Okay. Oh, will they? Oh, okay, cool. Yeah. So okay, yeah. Production and best newcomer and best social media. Ooh, best social media. What could that be? Maybe we'll get into detail about it. Naledi asks, is View not part of the sponsors this year? They are not, unfortunately. They were really lovely with us last year, but unfortunately they are not with us this year. One of our some of the prizes that we're going to go through now, the special prizes that because everybody who wins an award they'll get a trophy, but there are some prizes that come with very special awards. So best newcomer gets a full bursary for a filmmaking national diploma from Creative Arts College. So that's pretty stunning. So yeah, like if you're a newcomer and you want to study film, you want to get a filmmaking national diploma, full bursary for you from Creative Arts College. Stunning place. That's pretty exciting. Then best social media award. Okay, so your film may not be distributed or screened before official screening. Because we want when it screens at the cinema, that should be the first time the public is seeing it. Okay, you're not allowed to upload it to any platform or share it with anyone outside of your 48-hour team before then. But we do encourage that you promote your film with posters, trailers, social media, all of that stuff on the various platforms that you want. Because when you create buzz for your film, you create buzz for us also. And we want to reward that because, the more publicity that we get around, the more people that come to the cinema to see your films, it's better for everybody. And the award for best social media is 2,500 Rand in cash. That's pretty cool. I think that's pretty cool. yeah, so do your best. Share, post, like, subscribe, all of that. Instagram, tweet, Twitter tweet, Pinterest, all of the go Snapchat, all those things that you young kids do. Um, please do all of that, and then maybe you and your team could be the ones walking away with 2,500 rand in cash. We'll get it to you in a no, we won't get it to you in a suitcase. It's probably like yeah, but it would be really cool if we could give you it would be like an empty suitcase with just with 2,500 rand in it. But, okay, now best mobile production. So these are films that are shot on a mobile phone. This is just such an exciting category, and obviously it's sponsored by Huawei. They have the prize this year is a Huawei P40, and it's a stunning phone. Um, it's got three lenses on it, and it all of them are Leica lenses. So Leica is a company that actually makes some of the highest quality like cinema lenses. Obviously, the ones that are on your phone are not like cinema camera lenses. They're made for your phone, but they're made by one of the top lens companies in the world. So of those three cameras, you've got a 50 megapixel ultra vision camera, a 16 megapixel ultra wide angle camera, and an 8 megapixel telephoto camera. And together, all of those, they create some stunning images. It's a beautiful phone. And I think anybody would be lucky to have it. Last year, Pandemic, which was I think by Alexa Studios. They won the phone last year. It was a Huawei P30, and yeah, that was super great. You guys did a really good job with that phone. It was very good, really funny also, and thought provoking. It's a lot to think about. Does every team member get a phone, or the whole team gets one phone? The whole team gets one phone. The whole team gets one phone. Yeah. 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 So the specification here is that the team leader is the one that gets the prize unless otherwise stated. So in the case of like best cinematography or anything like that, then the cinematographer will get the prize. But yeah, that's what that is. Now we will have an interlude because I'm going to show you a little commercial here for the Huawei P40. So buckle up. I'm just gonna mute myself.
The Huawei P40 Series 5G with Ultra Leica Penta camera. Remove the unexpected with a simple tap. Break the boundaries of distance. Then break them again. Capture the best part of every moment. Even at night, you can discover stories within stories. Huawei P40 series.
And we're back. Hey, so how about that, guys? I don't know if that sold you on it, but yeah, apparently the phone is just looks like magic according to that ad. I don't actually believe that technology has come that far. But yeah, it looks like a great phone. Beyond my wildest expectations about what technology could do. When I was a young whippersnapper, we just had those Nokias that didn't break, and we could play Snake on it. And now you can make movies on your phones. Best cinematography prize. Best cinematography's prize is it's 10,000 rand in cash. So I'm just really jealous that I can't really participate this year because I'm working for the festival. But I think that's pretty stunning. Yeah, who wouldn't want that? So yeah, dude, get some good images out there. Put your best foot forward, and you could be walking away with 10,000, 10K, 10,000 clams or bones or whatever you kids call them these days. Also, you get bonus points if you can tell me who this handsome gentleman is here holding the Arri Alexa LF. Feel free to put it in the comments because yeah, if you just win respect from me if you can tell me who that guy is. Cool. Next. Okay, so the winner of best film this year at the 48 hour gets to go on to Filmapalooza, which is like an international festival that's part of the 48 hour, where all the best films of the year from 48 hour compete against each other, and the top 10 films at Filmapalooza go to the Cannes Film Festival, like the real one, like the proper one in France, you know, where like Jennifer Lawrence and Leonardo DiCaprio and George Clooney go, you know. So I don't think I need to even explain any more about that. That's what you guys get to go for if you win best film. So Trevor, good boy. Good one. Roger Deakins, yes. You knew it was Roger Deakins. Good job. So yeah, that's what you have waiting for you if you win. You get to go to Filmapalooza, and if you win Filmapalooza, you get to go to the Cannes Film Festival. All right. Ownership of films and creative rights. So your creators, you retain the creative rights to your films. The 48-hour film project does have the rights to distribute your films for 1 year, a single year, 365 days. We cannot sell your film in any way. Okay, it is your film. But if you win any cash prizes, 48 Hour is entitled to 20% of that as a fee, because we stand in as like an agent or a representative of the filmmaker. After that 1 year, the film's entirely it's yours. It's all yours. It's your baby. Yeah, and as Nerusha just said, if you don't want us to distribute your film in any way, you just have to communicate with us. We're nice, and you can talk to us about it, and we'll accommodate you. Yeah. All right. Next is okay. So that's the end of this chapter. So yeah. Thank you guys. We still have 3 more chapters. They are shorter. But yeah. If you have any questions, I'll open the floor for, let's say, like another 2 minutes. And if no other questions come up, then we can take like a 5-minute break, and then we'll get back to it. Chapter 2 after that. Okay, I'm just gonna chill here for a moment, waiting patiently. Let me go back to big screen. It's really nice to see you, Trevor. Nice to see you back here. How you doing, Trevelation Station? Oh, YT Aquaplays also says Roger Deakins. You're a little bit late to that one, Trevor. Beat you to it, but I'm glad to see that people know who Roger Deakins is. He's the man. He's a saint. Yeah. Anyone else got any questions you want to ask? Questions. I'm going to take that as a no. Darian Luke says, sounds very exciting thus far. Looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to seeing you there. Cool. Any more questions? No? Nope. Anyone? Bueller? Cool. So we'll be back, let's say, at 4:05. That sounds like a good one. Cool.